That's bail bonds. Can you guys hear me? Jesus. Oh, not that one. I don't want that one. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's hear another one. That one was by bail bonds, which I thought was really kind of cool because it was relaxing, and then oh shoot, fiddlesticks. Here we go. This is the Soundlings. This is kind of I don't know, like it's reminding me of the fire and stuff. Let's see how this goes. This one is Keys to Unravel. Interesting. Let's see if this one. Play one more bar. All piano. Yeah, it's kind of pretty. This is the Soundlings. Lings. L-I-N-G-S. Soundlings. Thank you. Thanks, Sub-Zero Flames. Thanks. I dyed my hair. Roots were coming in really bad. Of course, I dyed my eyebrows too. Hi, Mary Jean Doe and Freeside, Adam and Eve Proton. Hi, you guys. Hi, Sherry. Thank you. This reminds me of the fire. I mean, think how they were probably trying to run around, hurry and grab stuff. Right? One father told his sons, get three days worth or 3 sets of clothes and grab your Nintendos. I'm enjoying listening to a little bit of music with you guys, and then I'll read some of the stories. These are some songs I picked out. This reminds me of the fire creeping up on these houses. They're thinking it might have to do with the electrical lines, though. Some people had footage on the Palisades of a fire up in the electrical, whatever it's called. It wasn't a little flame, it was a fire. Green with the red. Thank you. You mean my avatar? That got made for me by Mandy Lynn. This is blue. It's supposed to be blue anyway. Thank you. Goodness gracious. The name of this is Blue Screen of Death. Yikes. Let's see what this one is. Hey, Max Smith. Just playing a little music, and some stories came in on my email, which are really not too many, but pretty neat. You're in California, I think, Max Smith, right? Hi, Lainey. Okay, I thought you were in California there. Let's see. Okay, where am I? No, we already heard this one. San Diego. So you're pretty far from the fires, I'm assuming. Wow. That's good. Thank God for that, huh? Female group. I don't know. I really liked Bananarama. But I was really into Duran Duran in the 80s. Sub-Zero. How about you? Well, rock band was definitely Guns N' Roses. Oh my God, I was in love with Axl. Yeah, there are so many. Okay. No, I'm trying to turn that off. Wait, is it on now? Oh, good grief. All right, folks, how are you? Yeah, there are so many sub-zero flames. Okay, so I don't know if people are glued to the TV like I am. I don't know if it's because I'm over here on the Pacific Northwest. I'm certainly not in California like Max Smith, but and having your house burned down and just having a kitchen fire is completely different. I understand that. But that was terrifying enough. Running after my animals and, telling my kids to get out of the house. And then the smoke went from gray to black and my mind went blank. I forgot there was a fire extinguisher right outside my door. Not that I knew how to use it right, but that's not the point. So, when you're in those predicaments, you learn a lot. This is bothering me. It seems like this side is longer, but I guess it isn't. Okay. All I've been watching are these fires. You too? Me too. Just stuck to the Fox Live Now or whatever. They're in Arizona. My daughter didn't know that. I said, all these people up there on the screen, Chris Kraft or, Andrew Kraft and the other ones, they're in Arizona. Obsessed. Yeah, I'm obsessed. So, there's thousands of stories, right? But I wanted to pull up some of the more special ones, or not special, but ones that came up in my email. So let me mute so no whatchamacallits come on. Advertisements. And let's see if Mary Jane or somebody could put the copyright disclaimer in the chat, that'd be super. The paper somewhere. All right, thanks. I got this pretty ring from my friend Teresa that I've known since 1991. Isn't it pretty? It's obviously not real, but all right. So this one's sad. But I don't know. I really liked it. Um, I don't think it's a video. Okay, this is the guy, you guys, that perished in his home on the Pacific Coast Highway. Okay, he's the one. Only one person perished. He was a surfer, things like this. He'd never been married, never had kids. And his mother was nearly begging him to leave. She knew he wouldn't. And so in the past, she asked him if he'd even move, right? So it's son left his mom last voicemail before dying in LA for Los Angeles. Yeah, LA fires. I will keep it forever, she says. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Really? So, see, you can really relate. Yeah, I mean, people are looking to blame, right? But they said on the news there wasn't a drop of rain since May. Um, you know, and in January isn't even when this stuff is supposed to start. Thanks, Mary Jane. Thank you. Oh, that's really, really sweet. Thanks so much. It is chill. Um, as long as I don't fight with anybody, right? And I'm not doing that this year. Okay, so she says, I'm proud that he turned out in the end like the person that he did. Carol Smith tells people about her son, Randy Mayod. So Carol Smith remembers the last ever phone conversation she had with her son, Randy Mayod, a 55-year-old Malibu, California resident, on Tuesday, January 7th, the day the Pacific Palisades fire broke out. He would always call me any time there was a fire coming, Smith tells people. He was almost in tears on Tuesday when I talked to him. And he said, Mom, there's another fire in the Palisades. I can see the smoke. I said, Randy, grab your cat and go to a shelter. Don't make me worry. She adds, I've worried so much about him because in all the fires that he's been through, he never evacuated any of them. He always stayed. He always felt that he could hose the house down with his hose. Randy is one of at least 24 people who died in the ongoing Los Angeles fires that have also left 23 missing. Smith adds that later, his mother adds that later he called again and left a voicemail, reiterating their last conversation together. The last thing he said to me was, pray for the Palisades and pray for Malibu, and I love you. She explains, he called me at home and I wasn't here, and he left a message on my phone, the same thing that we talked about when he called me on my cell phone. And I have that message and I will keep it forever. So sad. You know, thinking about his cat and everything too, you know. So the mother says authorities found her son, who apparently died the following day, Wednesday, January 8, behind his Malibu home as he was trying to protect it. I don't think that he ever really knew what hit him, she says. The detective said that this kind of a fire, or any kind of a fire, just sucks the wind out of you. They did the autopsy and he had enough lung tissue left to determine that he died from smoke inhalation and thermal heat. Randy was the only child of Smith And her ex-husband, she remembers her son as an avid surfer and skateboarder in his youth. He used to cut classes in high school to go to the beach. I had to hide his board at one point because he was spending more time at the beach than he was spending in school. Wow, what a beautiful thing to say. Thank you so much. In his 20s, Randy moved to Malibu and rented a studio apartment that was attached to the home that he later purchased and became known as the Crab Shack. He had kind of an open door policy there, she says about her son. He had so many friends that came and went from there. And he partied a lot, and that was the lifestyle that suited him perfectly. He was the party. And this is homes burning, along the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, which we've already seen a lot of that. I remember seeing that woman, right, with the blonde hair pulled back and talking and just shocked at how the buildings were going down. His mother also says that Randy was a born-again Christian, describing him as handsome, funny, and smart. He went to Santa Monica City College and got a degree in photography. He did some professional photography. He was flown up to Canada by Pamela Anderson. You guys know who she is from Baywatch. And was married to, what was his name? Was it Ricky Lee? Or now I can't remember. And she bought property up there that she was considering at the time, and she wanted Randy to go up and take pictures of it. She adds he knew Ryan O'Neal's son, Redmond. He knew everybody. He knew all the celebrities, but to him, they were just ordinary people like him. He was not starstruck by any of that, and he treated everybody the same. He was a very unpretentious guy. He was very humble. He was not materialistic in any way. Tommy Lee, thank you. I said Ricky Lee. That's because Ricky Lake lost her house, and I'm thinking Ricky. Oh my gosh. Okay. Randy was also a beloved member of the Malibu community, according to Smith, saying he loved life, he loved people. He was like a people magnet. Everybody in Malibu knew him. I mean, he's beyond a legend there. He's almost iconic, she says. I just talked with a friend of his today who said that they will probably be writing songs about him. He will probably be at Duke's. That's a very famous restaurant in Malibu. They'll probably have a huge picture of him up on the wall with all the other legendary surfers in Malibu. The surfer had been struggling in the last year when he lost his job, broke his finger that required surgery, and had to say goodbye to his beloved pet cat, who died. His home sat on the Pacific Coast Highway where other vehicles would come around the corner and hit the residents and Randy's cars. So I'm confused. Maybe he had a cat before this one that had passed away, right, when he had his finger surgery. And did he get another one? Because she said, grab your cat. And anyway, I told him, sell that house and move because of the fires and the cars that were always being destroyed. I even told him not too many months ago, Randy, sell that house, take the money and buy a place somewhere else where you'll be safe because you're getting older and that's just too much stress. But that was his life. He was not going to leave that home because he had so many good memories there. Smith says her son left behind a legacy that included his friends who loved him so much. He never married and he never had children. She says, he always said to me, Mom, I'm waiting for a good Christian woman. He's a kind person who loved kids. There's not one person that I know that has anything negative to say about him. Nobody. So I'm proud that he turned out in the end like the person that he did. I'll have some really good memories of him, starting from day one. Gosh, that's so sad. And this is him. Trying to get rid of that glare. He looks like a happy-go-lucky guy. Hi, Smiley Miley. Yeah, I got your message on the back of the comment thing on my last live. Did you get mine? I just said thank you and gave you a heart. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was really sweet of you. Yeah, I try not to take people's harassments anymore to heart. Um, at first it was a little bit hard, but it does kind of get easier with time. All right, so that's one story, and it is sad. Just a minute here. This one's sad too. This is the woman, another woman that passed away. She was 85. Woman 85 died in her car after ignoring calls to evacuate her home because she didn't want to leave her pets behind. Am I on a messenger? Yeah, yeah. Yes, I am. Um, there's a picture of that guy pointing at his little red house. I didn't know that. Thank you. Wow. Thanks so much. I giggled at the part where you said not trying to kiss ass. Thanks so much. That's just so nice. Thank you. Hi, Rock This Girl. In my Facebook, I'm under Megan and my last name, key check. I'll just say it here, Kyceek, and Megan is Megan. That's not my maiden name was Michael. But I still have my married name because that's my son's last name and it's just easier to sign those disclosure agreements and things. Thanks, you guys. You guys are so sweet. Oh, you do? Wow. Thank you. I don't have a P.O. box, but I trust you. Yeah, I mean, I can tell who I can trust. Um, you've been in here a while. I think I heard your name over even on Dolly Visions. You're not a guy. I don't befriend men in Facebook because then they're on Messenger and then you've got to kind of deal with that. And I mean, I did accept Demetrius and I hadn't heard from Demetrius, you guys, in a good week. And then I got this sweet makeshift Christmas card from him. Like he said, like on a piece of paper, kind of cardboardy thing, Merry Christmas. And, like that was so sweet. He took the time to do that, even when Christmas was over. And he told me in Messenger he wanted to send me a card. And I said, wow. I said, you don't have to do that, but he did it. So today I sent him back a little card. And what it looks like because of his new address is that he's moved into his home, you guys. He's finally, after 6 or 8 months out of the nursing home. No, his name is Demetrius Carter, and I met him over on Tattooed Rebels channel. He's my son's age, and he has a lot of lung issues, and everywhere he had to go, was connected to oxygen. And he's just, his parents are passed away. He's in a home. And he wasn't grifting, asking anything. He just said he was sort of embarrassed because he said he felt like a dog connected to a chain, that he always had to lug this big oxygen thing around. So I talked to him, to find out when he can get a portable oxygen machine. And it would have been about 5 months, by paying a little $50 from his SSI all the time. So I helped him. I helped him be able to get that sooner. Um, and his insurance, sat on it a little bit, or this insurance had to come through to cover his side, and people thought he was grifting. There's a lot of mean people out there. They don't even look at people's circumstances or give a damn. They'd rather just type whatever the heck they want. Yeah. Oh, you're so lucky. I want snow. Yeah. I haven't either. So I'm thinking it's because he's moved into a place and getting settled and stuff. I hope, because he had pneumonia 3 different times because of this lung thing. There's a name for it. He has an immuno whatever thing. Oh, okay. So that's a Demetrius. And no. My Facebook profile is this avatar, actually, right here. It's that avatar now. Yeah. Oh, I just realized something just the other day. I mean, after a good year and a half, I'm glad I remembered this. I cut off where people can accept or try to become a friend. I pushed the button off. Um, so what I'm going to need to do is get back in there. And after this live, I'll do that so that I'm able to accept friend requests. All right, Smiley? Wow. Oh, you did? Oh, you did? I thought it had to go through Facebook first. I'm so confused. Okay, that's good to know then. All right, so this poor woman, and this is why I started a little bit later tonight. I had to upload these stories on my other iPad, along with the music I chose. Yeah, are you in Washington State, or is that another lady? Because we haven't had gosh darn snow now in, I think, 3 years. I mean, good snow, that lasts more than, I think 2 years ago we had a little bit and it was gone as soon as it rained. Mm. So this lady's name is Annette Rosalie. Rosalie, I don't know. She declined to evacuate her home without her pets, which included a dog, 2 parrots, a canary, and a turtle. An 85-year-old mother and devoted pet owner is among the victims of the fires in Los Angeles. Annette Rosilli, a longtime resident of Pacific Palisades, died in her car after declining to evacuate from her home. Numerous people, including her caregiver and neighbors, tried to persuade Rosilli to leave, but she wanted to stay with her pets, which included a dog named Greetly, a canary named Pepper, 2 parrots, and a turtle. We could have easily taken them with us. The owner of the home healthcare agency that provided thrice weekly care for Rosalie. The problem is you can never force anyone to do anything. It was her choice. Wow. Rosalie, the mother of a son and a daughter who both live out of the state, ran a plumbing business with her late husband, according to the newspaper. Vadini said the last time she saw Rosalie, her caretaker, was late last month when she delivered the woman holiday cookies. She was such a sweet little lady, very pleasant, full of life. Rosalie had some mobility issues, she added. She must have had such a bad frustration that she was able to manage, come down the stairs and get to the car, but she couldn't drive away. Firefighters found her body on Wednesday, January 8. Rosalie is among 24 people who have lost their lives in the fires, the LA County Sheriff's Department said, as of Monday, January 13. People reached out to the Home Health Care Agency for comment on Tuesday, January 14th. That's so sad. Like, she just refused to leave without her pets. I just can't imagine the fear and the horror, you know? Oh, okay. You're in southern Mississippi. Wow. 11:30 here. You might fall asleep. Yeah. I didn't feel that hot when I carried I said in one of my lives about 2 weeks ago, we're helping our neighbor who has disabilities. She's trying to go through everything in her house, and she had a lot of garbage, and she knew, and she was kind of embarrassed asking, and I said, no, that's my daughter and I can do it just fine, because honestly, I pick my battles. I knew my son wouldn't touch anyone else's garbage either, right? Because of his OCD and germophobia. So we put gloves on and we made 5 trips with each of us carrying down 2 bags. So that's 4 bags, 5 times is 20 bags of garbage, and it was garbage. And then there were some boxes and things on the side. Now, this one today was so heavy, I had to leave it. I semi-dragged it down the hall. I'm on 3 flights of stairs, and I had to leave it at the end. And I like to get stuff done. I just do. But I had to leave it, carry mine down, and come back and get it. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I don't mean to upset people. Hi, Aussie True Crime. Hi, hun. They went through horrific fires. Was that 2 years? Wasn't that 2 years ago? Wasn't 3, was it? Gosh. Okay, so there's that story. Let me pull up another. Then there was this one that came up in my email. These are all just today. And I haven't read this one yet. The other ones I did. So I'll be hearing it with you guys. 12 survivors share harrowing stories from inside Los Angeles' historic inferno. This was like Armageddon. Now, I hope those people didn't pass away. I think they're just stories. So here we go. Whoops. Rodney Nickerson checked in with his son Eric almost every day, trading easy banter about the latest football game, his blood pressure, and the sunny Southern California weather. But the 82-year-old retired project engineer ended their last call early on January 7 with a note of alarm. He said, "Son, the wind is getting really bad out here," Eric recalls. "I told him, 'Dad, be careful, be safe.'" The next day, Rodney, a widower and grandfather, was found dead in bed at his home in Altadena, California, making him one of the first victims in what is now the worst series of wildfires in LA history. Vicious drafts of desert hot Santa Ana winds fed the fast-moving firestorm, which in mere hours roared over mountaintops, through canyons, and into city neighborhoods. "I couldn't believe it," Rodney's son says. "It's bad. It's bad." The blazes that began the morning of January 7th have largely been concentrated in the Pacific Palisades and Pasadena areas. As of press time, they have devoured more than 40,000 acres, approximately 3 times the size of Manhattan. Isn't it up to like 56,000 now? Thought I heard that the other night. Acres. Across the country's second largest city. Mm, yeah, my mom gets has SAD in the fall kind of deal. All right, so then more than 150,000 people were forced to evacuate, and there have been at least 24 deaths, and 23 people are still reported missing. I believe out of those 23, or it was 24 yesterday, they found 2 of them alive. And then there's still like, I think 16 more, or maybe 20 more. And now I can't remember. I have to take notes all the time. I have things on my calendar, and like tomorrow we have like an inspection where they walk through and see if, you need a door fixed or whatever. And they did that last week. They were supposed to do it. So I sleep out on the couch from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 10, and then they knock. I don't want to miss their knock. And all they did was check our fire alarms, and it was so loud, and the cats were freaking out. They were just, their ears were up, and then they were back, and then they were down, then they were at an angle. It was really funny. It was really loud because it's the main, but louder than that. It's not just the, what is it called? Smoke detector going off. Mm. It just broke my heart seeing the koalas. I know kangaroos were burned and things too and hurt, but all I saw on the news was koalas, and seeing them limping with burned feet, and the firemen coming up and giving it drinks of water and whatnot and holding it, and I'm assuming brought it to some kind of safety, was just, I've never seen anything like that. Yes, yes. If any of my boyfriends in the past were hunters, it'd be a done deal. I mean, a done deal for not hanging out with that person at all. Cannot handle the hunting thing at all. Um, you're so funny, Leanie. We can go out and make snow angels. You go do that and your husband take a picture. I want to see it. Mm, wow. Oh, thank you. Oh, I got the belches or something. thank you, Lainey, for coming in. Thank you. Good to see you. Oh, all right. Okay, so those numbers of the missing or, passed away people are expected to grow. In the show business capital of the world, celebrities too have been affected and have pledged to lead charity efforts, which I think is wonderful. Paris Hilton put out a GoFundMe, or maybe not a GoFundMe, some kind of, not a GoFund her or anything, but the victims, because, I heard that was just her beach house. Um, she has another home and stuff. It's mind-boggling, says Dr. Sarah Trepanner, an ER physician who, until the fire started, lived in the Palisades. The churches are gone, all our restaurants, all of the grocery stores. It's all ashes. Here are some of those who survived and loved ones, those who didn't, share their stories. Okay, this one's called The Entire Mountain Was on Fire. I work in Palisades Village. We were in a morning meeting at about 10:45 a.m. when I got an alert on my phone from my Ring camera at home saying there was a fire. I zoomed in on the location and I was like, wow, that's close to here. Then I looked outside and literally the entire mountain was on fire. Typically, it would only take me 7 minutes to get home, but the street was completely gridlocked. My kids were in school. I was determined to get back and get my 2 kittens and 2 dogs. But when I got down to the bottom of my hill, this cop was telling everybody to get out of their cars because the fire had come. Now, I did read this story. I just remembered that I did. And remember, they were saying that they thought someone's car was on fire. They were also saying in the news that they thought it was someone just panicked and got out of their car, and then everybody did. But according to this, a policeman said, get out of your car. The fire has come. Cars, because the fire had come. If he would have had my car, I would have made it up to my house to get my animals, and I didn't. We have lost everything. And there were pictures. Her kittens were 5 months old. They looked like small cats. They kind of looked Siamese, gray with these yellow eyes. So sad. I don't know. And then her dog, her picture. And well, you don't know. She said she's hoping they ran out of the home. Maybe they did, Okay, here's another little story. They're short. Oh, her name was Monique Merez, 43, from Pacific Palisades. She has 3 daughters and showed a picture of the whole family. Her daughters must be just sick about the pets too. This one was different. Walls of Flames and Explosions. That's the name of this one. Frank Figueroa, 43, Altadena. The fires usually start in the mountains. You could see them coming. This one was different. My house, my entire street was in flames, and the flames were 2 stories above the house. The reality of it was so huge and so powerful, and the wind was so bad. You had to bury yourself against something to not get blown over. It was just walls of flames and explosions. And this one is by Sherry Crumpler, 79 years old in Malibu. Everything was in my house and I couldn't get out. That's the name of this one. This was like Armageddon. I walked with a cane and I called for help, and I thought the firefighters would come. Then let me follow them down. Then let me follow them down. But that wasn't their idea. They said, "You're going with us now." 3 of them just picked me up, put me in the car. I don't have a single thing other than what I have on because everything was in my house and I couldn't get it out. I'm trying not to get myself into the doldrums of the loss. I'm trying to think of what plan God really has for me now, and how do I make use of that? Wow. Did anyone see? I don't know if it went viral, but it got thousands of likes by a granddaughter that posted her 90-year-old grandma, who she was asking, like, what are you going to do now? Are you okay? These kinds of things. It really was compelling, to say the least. She was like, well, I really wanted to downsize anyway, and I didn't need all those clothes. I'm not kidding. She was so positive, and it wasn't fake. It wasn't for the cameras. She's 90. She's like, now I can find a smaller place, and I don't have to worry about having too much stuff, and it's out there. I don't know the name, you guys, but the grandma has dark glasses, hairdo about here, and she's 90. And I think, is it on Facebook or TikTok? Now I don't know. Okay, this one is called How Much Time Do I Have? By Lewis Marvin, 46, Topanga Canyon. I was keeping an eye looking down on the Pacific Coast Highway when I noticed the fire cross the canyon. I thought, okay, how much time do I have? It was unbelievable. It came racing toward me. There's a water cistern on our property that was built for cattle drives. I jumped down into the water. Wow. I was breathing a lot of smoke. I popped my head up a few times to get air. Then I decided just to run. I grabbed the dog from the outdoor patio, shoved him in my truck, and I just gunned it out of there. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised more people haven't passed away, because it sounds like this fire kind of came out of nowhere, or kind of out of nowhere. Okay, this is a firefighter fought to keep his own home. Isaac Beza, 49, from Altadena. My family evacuated to my best friend's house, and the next morning I immediately started getting dressed to go back. Altadena was burning down at this point. I'm a fire captain, and I was just praying to God, please let my house be standing. Haven't I done enough? Haven't I saved enough houses to earn some credits to have my house standing? And when I got there, my home was standing. Everything around it was burning, though. I went to get the hose, but there was no water. It was so unsafe. There were things on fire on the ground. I tried to do everything I could, but I knew it was getting too bad. The fact that it was my house, I had to try. And I believe what happened was he couldn't. He had to leave. His kids were happy to see him, and he made it over to that friend's place, and they lost their house. But what I found not interesting, but remember they were running out of water in the hydrants, right? But I thought everybody had, and this, I'm naive on all this water stuff, but I thought people in their homes had water. So if they did want to use a hose, at least they had that water. Do you know what I mean? But apparently it's all, right, supplied together somehow if they don't even have water for their hoses. And I assumed that was a given till I read this. Okay, this one is, he was able to get me to laugh between my tears. This one is Sarah Smith, 26 years old, Pacific Palisades. I heard about the fires when our plane was about to take off for Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. on Tuesday morning, January 7th. My boyfriend Shane thought, should we get off the plane? But I thought to myself, fires happen all the time in LA. The next day, Shane's friend sent a video of our neighborhood. The second I saw our apartment was gone, I began crying and shaking. Shane just held me and he began to cry. My grandma and uncle spent most of their lives in the Palisades. My grandma got sober there. My uncle went to elementary school there. So the city has a place in my entire family's hearts. Then a song by Crazy Frog, Axel F., started playing at the hotel, and Shane started laughing. It was such a stupid, funny song at one of the most devastating moments of our lives, and he was able to get me to laugh between my tears, too. Wow, man. This one's called Get Everyone Out by Heather McAlpine, 33, from Altadena. We're an all-volunteer organization, the Altadena Mountain Rescue. We help people that are typically in distress in our mountainous area, the San Gabriels. When we saw the fire was spreading so quickly, it just turned into a get everyone out as fast as possible situation. We were doing a wellness check near my own house, and that's when I saw that the fire was getting close. I grabbed my cat, Tessa, and a few of my things, and that was it. Okay, here's one. She Couldn't Save Her Son by Shelley Sykes, 62 years old in Malibu. My son Rory had a cottage on her 17-acre property built especially for him because he has cerebral palsy. They said he'd never see or walk, and he defied all the odds. He always said, it isn't what happens to you in life that counts. It's what you do about it. When it was announced that they wanted us to evacuate, Rory's feet swelled up with the heat, and he said, leave me. Oh, you guys, I haven't read this. Of course, being a mama, I'm not going to leave my boy by himself. I saw cinders on Rory's cottage roof. I said to him, if it gets hot or you feel uncomfortable, just sit in the shower. I've tiled it. I've made a special needs shower. Then I raced to get help. There were firefighters about half a mile away, but they said they had no water. So I said, please, you've got to go break down the door and take him out. And I gave them directions to the property. When they came back, they told me I needed to identify Rory. I was just numb. Wow. Wow, you guys. These stories where people can't even, get out if they wanted to. All right, he helped rescue dozens of animals. Jacob Douche, 29, from Beverly Hills. My mind went to the animals right off the bat. I've been lucky enough to own a trailer for a long time, and I can fit about 10 horses in there or other livestock, depending on the size. I figured, let me drive around and see what I can do. People started waving me down, and the look on their face, they had no idea what they should do or where they should go with their animals. I've saved maybe 95 animals. I'll keep doing this as long as it takes. Let's Take Care of Our Patients. It's the name of this one by Dr. Ravi Salgia, 64, from Pasadena. I came in at 2:30 in the morning to work at my hospital, City of Hope. I huddled with the nurses and said, let's take care of our patients. Let's prioritize if we have to evacuate, and let's try to see if we can discharge patients who are safe so they can avoid the fires. My wife and my daughter followed me. They said, we're not going to leave you, no matter if we lost everything or if we didn't lose anything. We didn't really care about that. Man. I also heard today on the news that some, right, people that were in nursing homes, you know, because there aren't enough living quarters or places or things, were discharged, you guys, and have to find a different place to go to, a different nursing home, maybe in a different state even, or county. Can you imagine that? Having a loved one in a nursing home. And anyway, this one's called, and again, I haven't read these, you guys, at all. The Grief of Irreplaceable Things. It's by Laura Nativo, 44, Pacific Palisades. It's like I'm feeling every emotion under the sun, shock and hysteria, and then dark humor, gratitude, trying to remind myself that I am alive and my dog, Delilah, is alive. Ultimately, I have a lot more than thousands of people right now, so I'm okay. But then last night I was at Nordstrom Rack looking for clothes, and I just broke down hysterical while looking at gray sweatpants because I thought about the gray sweatpants that I loved at home that were cheap, but they fit me really well. It takes years to curate all the material things that make you feel comfortable. And then when all of a sudden you're faced with starting over, and then the grief of the irreplaceable things, it's so tough. Wow. And that reminded me of another story I wanted to read where this woman is 37 now. Her husband's 37, and 20 years prior, when she was 17, her mom died. It didn't say what from, but she had, you know, saved and collected things, jewelry and other things, and a piece of lace from her dress, like in her coffin or the day she died or something, and there was nothing in the house. So sad. So sad. Turning survivor's guilt into action. That came up last night on the news. You guys might have seen it. There are people that have survivor's guilt, especially the ones whose house is standing and the ones all around them or down the entire street are gone. And a father was speaking, and his son, two sons, really wanted to just, can we come back home? Can we come back home? And he said, he's like, sons, we can't do that. It's not safe for us right now. But also, and he named names. He was like, what about Tristan's house is gone? And what, you know, Kyle's house and this. And he named off these names. And it was, it just got you thinking, you know, about the kids and their friends. It's really something. So, Turning Survivor's Guilt into Action by Catherine Turman, 61, from Pasadena. I'm supposed to be working, but it's impossible to focus. My heart is so heavy for my Southern California birthplace. It is beyond surreal, and I think everybody is in shock. My immediate blocks were all miraculously spared by the fire. My house was fine. Friends and I are now feeling survivor's guilt, but we'll channel that empathy into action to help out our community wherever possible in the coming days, weeks, and months, and I'm sure unbelievably years. Wow. Okay. I think that's it. I don't know if I read 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, I did. I read 12. It felt like 7 because they're so short. I'm going to end it there. It's been an hour and 13 minutes. These were some of the people that wrote those stories, apparently. Yeah, because this woman right here, was the Mraz lady that wanted to go up and rescue her dog and her 2 5-month-old kittens. See, that's her in the middle, and then her 3 daughters in, I guess, Christmas pajamas or something. Yeah, and I believe this was the one that was on the plane and just started sobbing. You know, and said, "Should we get back?" or something. Anyway, prayers to everybody. Apparently, a new fire started called the, I want to say car fire, and I'm not even kidding. So, yeah. And apparently, this Palisades fire is only, it was 14% contained yesterday, something like 16, unless the last like 5 hours. I haven't looked at the news in a little bit. It's more. It's incredible, you guys. There's people from, firefighters and the National Guard, and they still can't really, get a hold on it because the winds, the gosh darn winds, are picking up again. So, starting what? They said at 4 this morning. So I went to bed at 1, and then it was supposed to start at 4. Well, I was going to, but then I did my little live on, the Turtle Island call-in that I think it was so fake sounding. She was trying to pretend to be me, but hide me by saying a different name. So I think that was the goal. So it's certainly not like any friend of mine, or someone that, that I know at all, like in my chat or in Messenger. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here. And I wanted to share some of these significant little stories. There's thousands coming out. There's a lot of hope and love, as you guys all see. People donating, boxes and boxes of clothes and diapers. And somebody donated a whole bunch of wheelchairs. And a place is giving free, a business is giving free hearing aids to the elderly. And there's a place where people can get their medications. And, I think about disasters, not all the time, but, I'm 30 minutes from Mount Baker, which is a volcano. Now, I've never even been up there, and I've lived here since 1991. My daughter has sled down the parts of the mountain with the foster family years ago. And the foster family that she was with for those 3 months in 2011. But, they try to say it could blow any time, and I just can't worry about it, and then, of course, there's Mount Rainier, and St. Helens already blew, as you all know, in what, 89 or something. So, between that and living a mile from the bay, we had our first tsunami watch. We really did too. It was only about 5 hours long, and then it was gone, but it was weird. Yeah, that was on the news. Not for like just Seattle, but for us too. And I'm 2 hours from Seattle. And then what else? When we have those incredible rains and our literally 1, 2, 3 blocks away, when we had all that rain, and it was even on CNN News, Sumas and Linden and my town, I'm just going to say it, Bellingham, because I've said it before. I've just, we're up here in our apartment and it's pouring out rain. And I didn't even know. My mother's husband told her we were on the news and that our street where all the car dealerships and everything was flooded. And we're talking water above the windows, not just to the, and so businesses. And so I think it was 3 days after the big rain and the rains receded some and everything. I walked down there with my kids and we took a look, and all that water was gone. But that's when I saw other businesses on the way down there and back. These like retainer ponds, is that what they're called, were filled to the brim and water was coming out. And my son was kind of playing around on his skateboard and had to stay away from that, because water can ruin the skateboard. And we have a skate park nearby, but he doesn't feel comfortable. He gets bullied when he goes there now. And people are just mean, people that are regulars there. If you're not as good as them and you're in their way, they let you know it. They bump into you on purpose, medium hard, or even lightly, or mumble stuff under their breath. It's a place where people go and smoke a lot of, marijuana and even drink, even though they're not supposed to be there. So he doesn't go there anymore. And he used to when he was younger and fit and didn't have so many mental maladies, to deal with. But it's like I've got a huge dog canvas carrier that I got from my friend Teresa, that the mama kitty and 3 kittens would fit in, right? If I had to just corral everything in something and get out because of like in a fire or something. And then, I've got 2 carriers for the others. So the guinea pig days are over. I'm extremely relieved, but 13 years of always having 2 guinea pigs. They always had a friend. And when the other one passed, I'd get another one. And that's why it went on so long, the cycle. But when Charlie, the last one, passed, I knew that was it. And it's time. I'm older. It's a lot to do. They're expensive. But it was fun, quite the experience. But now just having kitties, it really is. It really is. And I'm glad I didn't say the lady's name that was in Topanga Valley that was upset with me a few days back, saying I was sensationalizing and I've got all my details wrong. Like, I understand. I really do. If I was her, I would probably lash out and say, look, if you're going to talk about this, at least get your facts straight. But with me, because I got my weird short-term memory loss, it started 2 years ago, to where I need to see a neurologist. And I'm going to do that this year. Maybe it'll be in February. And just the way I am, not being really, really prepared all the time, kind of winging it on my lives, but I see her point. But I sincerely hope if she's watching this or ever sees it or anything, I hope you're okay. I hope your friends are okay. I hope your family's okay. She was in Topanga Valley, you guys. And that place got hit, I think it was the 3rd day after Altadena. So first it was Palisades and Malibu and whatever the other one, I can't think. And then and then the Eaton fire that evening. And then the next day was like Topanga Valley, or maybe it was the 4th day. I think it was the 3rd, and went through there. And those roads, according to the news, I mean, I didn't know, we're talking just little roads. Car goes this way, a car goes that way, scary. So prayers to everybody. Thank you for all the help that's getting there. I'm extremely relieved. I don't want to lose subs over this, but I'm extremely relieved that Biden was still president when these fires happened and declared this an emergency immediately and is giving back 100%, and letting all those guardsmen and everything be there for full 180 days. So yeah, I was thinking about that. Trump isn't quite sworn in. As everyone knows, I'm a Democrat. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. Now it's been an hour and 24 minutes. I'm just talking here, but I love you guys. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to me if you're willing to. And this is PCT is Extreme. And, I guess I'll say this. I wasn't planning on it, but it'd be kind of cool to be on the island. Even if I was Turtle Island, even if I was voted off that night, I wouldn't care and I would expect it. But having a chance to be on it would be really cool. So if people want to take the time and call in for me, it'll take 60 rings sometime. You just got to hang up, dial back, hang up, dial back. If you're willing and wanting to do that, just to see what happens. I can't believe Jimmy said PCC Extreme. I don't know if he was tired. It's not PCC, PCT. And he's the one that said that when I would come up on his lives after I wasn't a regular co-host, before all the falling out with the female, or not falling out with the female. She was never really my friend, but the whole situation. He's the one that said PCT is extreme. So that's where I got the idea from. And then I saw somebody write, has a channel out there. I think his name's David or Dan or something, X, and then stream. And I thought, well, why can't I use that? And I am kind of an extreme person. I'm all over the place. And I like that, though. I think spontaneity is fun. So, yeah, it's next Wednesday. If people want to call in, I don't know. I won't bring it up again until probably Tuesday to remind people. And I don't expect people to, but be fun. It'd be the only thing I would be allowed to have to do with Dolly Vision show at all, because I'm not allowed to call in because it upsets her. It's what he told me, and I'm not allowed, to be over there. I can't be in chat because she and other people blocked me instantly, even if I just say hi, because that happened once. Because Jimmy will go through and unblock literally thousands. Once he was on live and he said, oh my gosh, there's 3,000 people blocked. I heard him say it. I doubt my name was unblocked. In fact, about a week later, I tried to say hi. No, I wasn't in there. So I'm blocked, but it's okay. Thanks, Michelle. We've got to sit on the phone. You got to keep gosh darn trying, but I guarantee you'll get through. I miss being able to call in the show. I would like to be able to call in. And honestly, I was thinking about this before I went to sleep last night. I was like, I wish I could call in and vote for Mab. I want Mab to win. I just do. I wanted him to win season 4, And again, the people that have already won, like Bombalicious and Lab and Huntress and what is it? Not Stealing the Pearls, but whatever, that Justin guy's name, he won, but he declined it. So then didn't someone else get it? I don't remember. Thanks, Michelle. I don't remember who won season 1. Do you guys? And then didn't the lab win season 2? And then Bombalicious or whatever her name is, Bomb Shell Reloaded 3, and then Huntress 4. But who won? Who won 1? Does anyone remember? Because I really want to know. I'm going to sit here until someone puts it in chat. Mary Jane can't remember. Dumplings come close a couple of times. Did she win once? I think the and I was like, which season was I up there? I think I was up there season 2 and 3. And 3 I got voted off. I lasted though 2 weeks. I couldn't believe it. Yes, Justin won, but he said something not very nice, right? Remember, to Jimmy, shove the belt up your whatever. And didn't Jimmy give it to someone else? Is that when he gave it to the lab? Or did the lab won the second season, I think. Hi, Donna Clark. Hi there. All right. Well, I can't remember, and I'm not going to go back and look. And there is a person I could give a call to and find out, a lady friend of mine, and she would know. So I might have to do that one of these days because now I'm extremely curious. Actually, he said on this last live who won them all. But I don't know if I want to like go through the whole thing and try to find it again, you know? But yeah, hi Sherry. I'll do a panel sometime after the 28th because that's when I'll have enough hours. Tomorrow I plan on reading the next chapter in chapter 4 of Drinking, a Love Story, a true story with the names changed, New York bestseller. I'm on chapter 4 called Hunger. Hunger. All right. Love you guys. Thank you. End stream.